Tony Trupiano, the host of First Shift with Tony Trupiano, and on AM 1310 WDTW.com. Hey, Tony. Hey, brother. How you doing?
It's great to hear. I'm doing great. Great to hear from you. Great to talk to you. You look fabulous.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I was just debating this fellow from the Heritage Foundation who was telling me that Troy, Michigan, Troy is the only town, I think, where I almost died. They've got a little airport there, and back in the 70s when I was flying airplanes, I flew out of that airport, and they've got a bunch of high-tension lines on one end of the runway, and I made the mistake of doing a downwind takeoff and just missed those wires by about 3 feet. It's incredible that, biggest mistake I made in my life. Anyhow, but Troy has said no to these stimulus dollars. What's going on?
It's an interesting situation, and I don't know if Mike Brownfield is a journalist. If he is, he needs to go back to journalism school. There are a lot of facts that he's missing on this picture. Tom, the bottom line is this is a great program for a needed addition to that community. There was a little bit of a racial overtone to what was going on there because there was a lot of discussion that by expanding that transit center, that of course would bring in people of color, God forbid, into what's a pretty lily-white community.
Troy being the lily-white community.
I mean, it's a very white community. They don't have a lot of ethnic diversity in Troy, Michigan.
Yeah.
And the mayor of the most recently elected mayor of Troy is a pronounced Tea Party person. And she was the one that was fighting the transit center. The crazy thing is, A, the money was there for the taking. B, the business community of the Chamber of Commerce agreed to pick up the $31,000 a year it would cost to maintain it. So there was zero cost to the community. Tell me why you don't embrace that and run with it, Tom.
Well,
and what we find out at the end of the day is that the city manager wanted it, who actually does make most of the decisions. The mayor is not. They don't have a strong mayor form of government, so she really only had one vote anyway.
Yeah, I think that they don't want it for the same reason that Chris Christie canceled a rail tunnel, for the same reason that when there was the Obama administration offered tens of millions of dollars to Rick Scott down in Florida to build a high-speed rail between Tampa and Orlando, I think it was, that he turned it down because they don't want to put people to work in these red states because they want the unemployment levels to be high going into the November election this year so that people will blame President Obama.
Well, and of course, as you know, as the economy has begun to rebound, and I don't disagree with the word you've said, especially here in the state of Michigan, manufacturing has rebounded, the auto industry is rebounding beautifully, the UAW has done a wonderful job of putting together collective bargaining agreements that help management and help labor. I mean, we're really building something here. Yeah, they're a little nervous because we're actually able to make progress without their help. Sure, I'd be nervous too, Tom.
Yeah, and I think this is why the Republican Party has suddenly started talking about social issues rather than the economy. They were screaming about the economy. Now they know maybe we shouldn't do that. Let's scream about social issues instead, and let's talk about birth control. And the problem is that they're screaming about social issues in a way that might have worked in 1955.
Okay.
But I don't think it's working right now. It's like...
and again, nothing's working for them right now. And, as I said on my show this morning, and I understand their frustration. I remember the late 70s, the early 80s as a Democrat. It was difficult. We had, we were as a party, we're in a transition, and it's difficult to be a party in transition. Unfortunately, they have no identity right now. They have no real candidates. They have nothing really to hold on to of substance. And what they really should be doing is trying to figure out a way to make progress that they can put their name on something that they can be proud of. Instead, they continue, and it's what's really amazing to me is the candidates are so disconnected from what's happening in Washington, D.C. It's almost like these two groups aren't communicating with each other. They're in such disarray. I'd be disappointed too.
Yeah. Do you think what's your sense of how Michigan's going to go in the election in November?
Well, certainly Barack Obama, as long as he does what he has continued to do, which is to visit, which is to remind us, as he did actually in Washington, D.C. This week to the UAW convention, the CAP convention, that he's bet on the American worker, and that bet paid off. And I don't think it was a tough bet to begin with, Thom Hartmann, because we all know, you and I both know, that when you give the American people a chance to succeed, they will. They will choose success every time.
Absolutely. We're talking to Tony Trupiano, the host of First Shift with Tony Trupiano, WDTW Detroit, Michigan, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m., 1310WDTW.com, the website. Senator Debbie Stabenow, great senator from the state of Michigan. She's up for re-election in this election cycle. And you have a crackpot right-wing Republican congressman who decided to run against her, and he ran this incredibly racist ad. And now I understand that it has blown back against him in Michigan.
Yeah, not only did the polling numbers blow him away, she went from being 9 points up to 21 points up, Tom, in 3 days.
Wow.
They've scrubbed his website of the ad. They've done everything they can do. The bottom line was, for 3 days, he went on every available media outlet that would talk to him and defended the ad as it was some wonderful thing, and I'm not going to back away from it. I'm standing by it. It's what I meant. Well, now you got to wear it, pal.
Holy cow, that's amazing. And across the state, do you think that there's any chance that Rick Snyder is he up for re-election this year?
No, he is not, but there is a new initiative. Michigan Rising is the group that is now coming after him again to recall him. What kind of momentum that will build, Tom, we'll find out. They start their revamped campaign on May 5th. They seem to be regrouped and re-energized, and so we'll see where that goes.
That's great.
Of course, our state House, which is solidly red, and our state Senate, which is going to stay red for a while. But the state House is up, and we just need to turn, I believe it's 10 seats, and I see that will happen fairly well. So at least we'll be able to slow down some of the insanity after November of this year. But Tom, my biggest concern is between now and November of this year.
Yeah, the kind of damage that this guy can do.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when they've got carte blanche to do what they want to do right now.
Yeah, with this law where he can just basically fire any elected official and replace him with a crony of his that the state will pay $250,000 to. It's incredible. Tony Trupiano. Tony, thanks for being with us today.
As always, my friend, thank you.
Great to get your perspective. I really appreciate it.